Well, a warm welcome to you all. It's Friday, early evening, and we are here for our Friday Night Live. This is night for us, pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm JJ. I'm a life coach, and I eat mostly meat.
I'm Eric. I'm a novelist, and I eat mostly meat as well. And I see we have very, very little battery life left.
Oh, no.
But it is getting juice from the system. So hopefully we don't just disappear. But if we do, you know why it happened.
Wally. Right?
Yeah, that's right. That could be what happens to us momentarily, but I don't think it will.
Okay.
So we just got done eating steaks like true carnivores do.
We did. I got them from Aldi.
Oh, I didn't know they were Aldi burgers. Aldi steaks. They were good.
Yes.
I think they were better than Walmart.
Well, and I went and put them on the big green egg and actually cooked them on the green egg.
Yeah,
as well.
You didn't just set them there. No, they were good. I didn't even make my egg yolks to dip it in. I just ate it.
Yeah, so that was good.
And I was hungry. I was ready for it. And the dog wanted his share.
He did.
And he started to get kind of vocal about it. But he's not supposed to have our table scraps anymore.
No, the vet said too much salt.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, let us know if you're here. Tell us who you are, where you're from. We may recognize your face. We may not.
We may. And we want to hear from you either way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how has your carnivore journey been this week?
Mine?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been trying to stay very good and keep that inflammation down and get all that red meat in, the good fat to support my body and my recovery. I've been getting really pretty good sleep.
You have. Yeah.
We've had a not quite as warm stretch here, so I haven't been getting all of the vitamin D the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, you had a day or two, maybe, I can't remember, where you only had 2 meals a day instead of 3.
Yep, I did do that. I don't typically do that, but I was doing a little less exertion, so I wasn't as hungry. So if you're not hungry, don't eat.
Yeah. And as we have moved, excuse me, we did just eat. As we moved into May, as you may remember, for me, April was really a month where I upped the fat big time. I was working on some hormonal stuff that seemed to be coming up. I started to have those I had a hot flash every evening before bed. And so I upped my fat. It dawned on me, hello, Dr. Bright. So I upped fat and really almost did a priming type thing in April for almost the whole month of April, which was higher fat and just eating more meals, usually eating 3 meals a day, comfortably stuffed, or 2 meals and a pretty decent snack. And also having shorter eating windows, longer eating windows, much longer, shorter fasting windows. And boy, oh boy, as they say, because priming is all, Raymond. I wanted to say Richard. Raymond, that's all his protocol in Steak and Butter Gang that he created. And so I really focused, this is a month of nourishing. And like he says, by the time I was done, I was ready to be done. I just felt overfull, and my jeans were starting to fit more tightly, which was fine. That's the point of it, is to really sort of almost, I won't say overnourish, but really nourish your body. And so now the first couple days being back into sort of more of my 6-hour eating window, 2 meals a day, I'm feeling great. And my jeans are already fitting better. So, I mean,
Well, I guess one of the ideas behind it is to signal to the body that you're in a time of abundance.
Yes. Which was a big deal for me because I felt like, obviously I was experiencing this hot flash every night, nothing major, but I'm like, oh, this is an early signal of hormonal imbalance. And then I had the weekend of the youth theater did their play. and it was an extra big weekend because we had a double cast, so we had more shows. So I was pretty exhausted for a good 7 to 10 days afterwards. And again, not normal for me anymore, just not normal. And so I really did want to signal to my body, and I still am. I'm working on sort of doing some more meditation and just working on cortisol. And I don't have any measure of it at this point, but really trying to nurture and make sure my body knows it's safe. And even like doing, Dr. Kiltz would be so proud, I'm even doing like mantras around it in my head and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I want to, I've been doing so wonderful on this carnivore journey, and I don't see this as any setback or anything like that or anything wrong. I see it as a time to heal even more deeply. So I feel like I've hit a great level of healing, and this is an invitation to go even further.
I love that.
So that's what I'm doing. And again, nothing major, just I really trying to make sure my activity, I'm getting enough rest afterward, doing a little box breathing after I do some exertion, just taking it down a notch a little bit.
Well, it's remarkable where we're at, even all that notwithstanding.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down 35 pounds plus since, I kind of operate through a window between 168 pounds and 171. Just that's my normal variability. Not a very wide range, just eating carnivore. That's just where I stay. IBS gone, acid reflux gone. I'm off of my SSRI long ago. Anxiety way reduced. So I'm going to keep doing it. Plus we have a channel about it. So I suppose that's another reason to keep doing it.
Oh, gee. No, I agree. I'm probably, just by the way my jeans were fitting, I was probably about 5 pounds up.
Oh, really?
I think so. I stayed off the scale this month because I wanted to keep my commitment firm and not have a lot of negative talk in my head about, oh, maybe I should just fast it, do a 48-hour fast, or, because this wasn't the time for that.
Yeah.
So,
well, I was bringing up kind of the progress that I'd made.
Yeah.
Because I was a little left out recently of telling the story.
Oh, yes.
JJ was a guest on the Lioness Lifestyle on, what was that, Tuesday?
That was
Tuesday night.
Yes.
So if you watch that, let us know. Or if you watch that and that's why you're here, let us know. If you watch that and now you're seeing that I'm also on the screen, I'm sorry. But this is a package deal.
We look so cute. Although Adrian's missing, she jumped in a little bit late, but
I like
you got a good picture.
Cartoon lion here in the side. We need to create a graphic to put heads in.
I have to tell you, it was so nice talking to carnivore women like that. I mean, we've gone to some meetups.
Yep.
You and I both, and chatted with people, usually couples or Carrie or something, but to just sit and be girl talk pretty much about carnivore was really nice.
Yeah. I thought it was great. And in it, if you haven't seen it, JJ goes all the way to the beginning of time.
I do.
And tells her story of how she came to carnivore.
A 30-year saga.
Yep. In 20 minutes.
Yes. It's what they wanted. So, hey, I can deliver. You want me to talk? I can deliver. But it's been a really social week for me. I did that. And then I've seen friends the last couple days, and I had a meeting. I've just been talking all week.
Yeah. And we've had crews here doing work around the property. We have a solar system being installed. It took me a moment. The sun is in the backyard. Earth is over by the lake. No, it's going to be solar panels. And so they were here installing the support structures and some of the wiring that's got to be done. That was today. We've got a small landscaping thing with a patio. They had to do some trenching to put some drainage in. So that's made a mess of the yard. And then it proceeded to rain immediately for 2 days. So they haven't been back. And then there was a guy who was trying to come here to clean the windows, and it immediately started raining.
Yeah.
He was doing some pressure washing. So it's a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I don't like a lot of people around my fortress of solitude.
I have to talk about the patio for a second, though, because we have just the way this house is arranged, and it had a lot of interesting spaces that we renovated, and you got to make them something. So we have a lot of seating areas.
Yeah. There's
a lot of
places to
seating
sit.
areas, sort of inside and outside. And so what did I come to Eric? And I'm like, I think we need another seating area. No, we're putting one in the front of the house on our property. It's near the porch. But here's the real reason we need this patio. And that is, I have nowhere to put my big green egg that's anywhere near the kitchen. So this little patio is going to be where the grilling happens.
Yeah. And it's going to be great.
Yeah. So.
Keisha's in the house.
Hey, Keisha.
That's the wrong cue.
As a matter of fact.
It was actually the right one. But anyway, I'm cutting out my extra fat due to stomach trouble.
So don't play eat the fat.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid of.
Be afraid of it, Keisha.
So I started tracking to make sure I'm getting enough calories. How many do y'all estimate per day to stay fed?
Are you looking for? Are you at maintenance mode? Is what I want to know. Are you looking to lose a little bit? That's my question for you.
Well, I did track this a little while ago, and I was eating somewhere between 23 and 2,800 calories a day to basically just stay the same. But I wasn't trying to hit a certain calorie. I was actually tracking my macros and then backed into the calories just as out of curiosity.
I very often eat about 1,800 to 2,100 calories. I just recently tracked again at the end of this priming period. And the reason I ask is I really do like Maria Emmerich has a calculator. So if you search Maria Emmerich calculator, it'll come up. However, she, in my opinion, goes a little low on the calories. So I always say to people who go there to sort of check in to do at least moderate activity or I think it's heavy activity. Heavy, does that make sense?
Sure.
But those two, like don't even if you're sedentary, don't put sedentary in. I would not recommend that for the most part. Moderate or high activity, I think that might be it. Depending on moderate if you're looking to lose, and I would do high activity if you're looking to maintain.
And she says she's fine staying the same.
All right.
Just don't want to go too low or lose hair.
Right. Exactly. So yeah, I would check that out. And again, check out the moderate sort of thing. And again, we're not big trackers. I tracked for 2 days this week, and it was just to touch base.
One of the reasons I don't track, well, there's many reasons. One is I don't like doing it.
I need to take this off.
But I also just kind of eat the same thing every day. Yeah. So I kind of I just kind of know. Bumbleberry, I do not recognize your name, but welcome.
Hey.
Hi, JJ and Eric. I started Carnivore 44 days ago and feel great. Inspired by your journey. Thanks so much for your videos. They have helped so much. From Vancouver, BC, Canada. Well, wrong cue. I don't know what's wrong with my fingers. That is awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Yes.
44 days. You're a veteran at it now. You've gotten past the 1 month.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the biggest hurdle, I think. But wonderful that you're feeling great. Is there a certain goal that you had or a reason you started? I'm curious to know.
Yep.
Shelby, hey all. Is it enough to eat the fatty steak or do we need to add butter? I want to lose 50 pounds. It's hard to know how much fat to add.
That's a good question. What is your thought on that? I'll toss it to you for the moment.
I would add based upon flavor and satiety. So if you eat a steak and you end up feeling like you were hungry after the fact, then adding a little bit of butter is probably good.
That is an excellent answer. See, I knew. When I started my carnivore journey, I did not do a lot of extra fat, and I had pretty good success. But you're right. I think satiety is a big clue for that.
Yeah, and I guess adding fat probably isn't a problem.
No.
And it will be, it supports hormones and stuff like that. So,
and
yeah.
that's a big thing. If you are feeling lower energy, it could be electrolytes, and it could also be fat because you're using fat as fuel. So if you're feeling fine, satisfied with just the fatty steak, way to go. I didn't start playing with higher fat till pretty far into my journey. I think I was more than a year in when I started tweaking the fat.
But the main thing is just eat carnivore.
Yeah. Yeah.
And eat the fat on the steak.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like you're doing great.
I know there are a lot of conflicting ideas, and it really is an N of one experiment.
It's
I
all
know you've heard that.
self-experimentation.
Yeah.
Hope is here.
Hey, Hope. Good to see you.
She says she really enjoyed JJ on the Lioness podcast, which we were just talking about. Let's put the picture back up here.
Yeah.
If you didn't see it, make a note to go watch it. And we streamed it on our channel, but you can go to their channel as well and watch the replay there.
Yeah. I also found out Adrian is from Wisconsin. So
Was that up north?
Superior.
So,
yeah.
That's
yeah.
way up north.
Way up north. So she's going to be going to Karen Miles' June meetup. I don't know if we're doing that yet. That's too far in the future
Where
for
is
you
it?
to think about. I can't, maybe Naperville. I don't know. And then, but she's also going to Meatstock, and we will be at Meatstock.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's coming up
My guess
soon.
is Karen will be there too.
Hmm.
Because Karen is everywhere. Everywhere there is carnivore, there is Karen.
Karen, good old Karen Miles. Yeah.
So we have a taste test
We do.
that we want to do before the ice melts and dilutes the whole thing
Yes.
too much.
So, as you know, we say we eat mostly meat, and we do eat mostly meat. And we do have some electrolytes sometimes.
Yep.
And sometimes we even have flavored electrolytes. I know. So I saw on the 2 Crazy Ketos this week that they taste tested Relight Kids version. This just came out. It's a specially formulated electrolyte for children. So it has less magnesium, less sodium, less potassium, more dosed for that age. But as a result, it's not as salty tasting.
I got to put on my spectacles and read the label.
And it was pretty clean, if I'm remembering.
Oh, yeah. So 50 milligrams calcium, 25 milligrams magnesium, has malate and glycinate, and a bunch of salt. And 150 milligrams of potassium. So it's 240 milligrams of sodium. So yeah, it's like a quarter of an LMNT, or what's the other one that we like?
We like salty.
Salty. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And we've never actually, I don't think I've had a Relight.
So what flavors do we have?
So this is a sample pack. You get 2 sticks of grape, 2 sticks of pineapple, 2 sticks of pink lemonade. Now, the reason I bought this specifically is because the 2 Crazy Ketos talked about how this might be a really excellent option for kids. And our daughter's not a child, but she does not like electrolytes. They're too salty for her. So it might be something we can have on hand for her. But also they said maybe even if you have an event, you can put this out like a punch bowl type thing. Like this is the drink. And we do have events with
let's get into it.
Okay.
What do we got?
All right. This is grape.
Okay.
And these are all naturally flavored, meaning
Smells grapey.
meaning that they are, it's like veggie and fruit color.
Grape juice, grape Kool-Aid is what that tastes like. That's sweet. I'm not used to that. Woo. I don't think I can drive after that sip. It's good.
Yeah, it's good. It tastes just like a grape drink. Even
It's like a liquid grape Jolly Roger.
Rancher.
Hey, it's a grape Jolly Roger. All right. So what's the next flavor we got here?
Pink lemonade. Pink
Oh,
lemonade.
I've wanted a lemonade.
That's what someone said. I think Rachel said that. She's like,
I
yeah.
gotta get that grape up.
I know. I feel like we need a palate cleanse. What does one use to cleanse their palate on Carnivore?
Sorry if I'm making too many drinking noises. That's pretty good, but it's not very tart. Very sweet.
It is very sweet. There's not a lot of lemon. I mean, I can taste it. It reminds me a little bit of a strawberry lemonade because the strawberry attenuates the tartness.
What's
somewhat.
it sweetened with? Does it say?
I want to say it's stevia.
Let's bring in the yellow one here.
This is the pineapple, and this was Two Crazy Keto's favorite, so that's why I left it for last. So let's see. The other thing I wondered is if I make a ham, can I use the pineapple as sort of a substitute for the glaze?
It's a stevia extract called ribodiazide A.
All right, there you go.
It works as a sweetener for sure. So
and it doesn't take, there's no aftertaste.
What do you think of this?
I didn't try it yet.
Oh.
I'm keeping our...
You're letting me go first?
Yeah. Well, you didn't watch the video.
It's a definitely a pineapple-y bouquet. Bouquet? Which is it? That's definitely pineapple-y.
I better not drink till I...
Holy cow. But this would actually be a pretty good transitional thing for kids to get them off of actual Kool-Aid.
Well, yeah. I mean...
but I am... I've had Element, I've had Salty, and nothing is even close to as sweet as those sips.
No, but I mean, this is like kids who are on Gatorade and stuff too. They're talking, substitute with this, which is way better.
I agree. I think that's. I think I would dilute it.
And this is diluted.
I would dilute it and I'd put salt in there to salt it up. But I could see how it could have a purpose. It could have a use.
Yeah, I think definitely this would be for someone who's not looking for an electrolyte.
This would, if this was constantly around, it would send me completely off the rails.
Yeah. Well, and
I would be drinking it constantly.
That's what I told Eric is this isn't something that I think we keep around.
Oh, let me get that.
No.
I'm going to see if that's... It's got a little tartness. That's one of the things I miss about a lemonade type drink is that tart experience.
But one could, I mean, again, if you're going crazy and adding plants, one could add some lemon to this pink lemonade.
Yeah, I suppose you could. Yeah.
And maybe get a little bit of the tartness back.
So this was not a sales pitch. We're not an affiliate.
No.
JJ bought it. We're trying it. And now you've seen her reaction. That was good. Very good entertainment, I'm sure.
No, again, I think it's really good. And it is good for those the exact same uses the Two Crazy Ketos said. Give it to kids. Our daughter might like it. And we could serve it at
So
events.
have you tried the adult Relight?
I've not.
Because because I think we talked about it in our last live,
I think we did.
and I think it was Annette who had tried some of the flavors.
Oh yeah, there was one she suggested too.
Okay, so back to Bumbleberry. Hoping to lose 60 pounds and improve my sleep apnea and blood pressure. I've heard encouraging things from others about these issues. Yeah, you should see blood pressure respond if you can get the carbs out.
Now, you were not on any blood pressure medication.
That's true.
I know they say that if you are on medication, you need to have it be monitoring it because it can happen so quickly.
Yeah.
But you have had elevated.
Yeah, I had elevated blood pressure, and Carnivore brought it down to excellent blood pressure. If 115 over 75 or whatever that is excellent. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I know Dr. Boz has gone back and forth on it recently. So I was like, do I need to hold my breath and get my blood pressure to come back up? I don't know.
And I will say for me that I stopped snoring. I didn't have apnea. I did stop snoring. And if we do something like eat out in restaurants too much or have too many salads, I will start snoring again.
Where's Alan? He's going to say one salad is one too many. Shelby, I wish I could do the flavored electrolytes, but they have citric acid, and that stuff is not good, especially if someone has histamine issues.
Yep.
So I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah. It's really interesting to me. I started my carnivore journey just doing it. Like I didn't do electrolytes at the time either. And then I started adding them in later into the journey because all the influencers were talking about it. But I was starting to have at that point some cramping in my feet, my arches. So there was a call for it. And I started having it and did fine with it forever until just this winter. I started to notice that if I had the flavored electrolytes during the day, that it was sparking foraging behavior. And I think that's because I kind of got down to my low weight. So I was already feeling a little more hungry. I didn't have a lot of fat to burn on my body, and it would send me foraging. So I stopped drinking the midday electrolyte. I'm okay drinking it in the evenings, but I don't drink it every day anymore. I drink it probably 2-3 times a week. Although summer's here, so maybe it'll go up a little bit.
I don't have it very often, but it's an occasional thing where I just get kind of an intuitive sense of like, yeah, maybe I just need some electrolytes.
Yeah.
Simpson John says, I love Eric's face with drinking that stuff.
Now, he is the king of big reactions. So if, you just saw it here, folks. But like if he hurts himself, he gives a huge reaction like that, which makes me laugh. And then he admonishes me for laughing at his pain. But I can't help it because he makes it like a cartoon. It's like Wile E. Coyote over here.
I know that I've been injured very seriously if she doesn't laugh.
Yes.
That's kind of how I know.
Oh.
Let's see. Michelle says, great show.
Oh,
I'll take it.
It might be the
lioness one. Yeah. Natalie says, I tried adult Relight strawberry lemonade and it was pretty good. The problem with that is the word strawberry.
I like that. So I might have to check that out.
I can't like strawberry.
No, he does not like strawberry. And it's a shame. Well, no, it's good because we have the wild strawberries here. And that means they're all for me. Because yes, I do eat our wild berries in season.
Yeah, you can have your annual 25 tiny little pencil eraser strawberries.
It's about it.
So this was our episode last Tuesday. Carnivore gave us our future back and kind of a sweet little picture there of us. But it was we'd talked about how we feel so strongly about carnivore that what we're doing now, the lifestyle we're living now, is not one we could have lived without it. If we hadn't started this back in 2022, 23, we'd be in a very different place.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I can't even imagine.
Oh, you were going to get that picture ready, but I don't think you did. That photograph of us.
Well, if you talk, I can eventually find it. But if you haven't seen this, we recommend checking this out. Obviously, we recommend it. Not only do we recommend that you check it out, you have our permission to share it
Like Dr.
on
Vince.
Facebook and with all of your friends and anybody who you think could benefit from it. And the same is true with this live stream.
Oh, it's interesting though. I've got on my iPad that little widget that shows a photo memory. And so yesterday our photo memory was from June 2022. And so that was just before we started Carnivore. We started in October. You fell off the wagon a little over the holidays, and got back on in 2023. But it was really interesting because there we were, graduation time with our daughter, and we were looking a little puffy.
And I'm going to try to get this on the screen, but it's going to be a minute.
You're going to
have to talk for a second.
Give me a topic. I need
Well, Natalie has this comment.
She has not been able to live. Have you seen any improvements though, Natalie? I'm just curious. I don't know. It's really interesting. Here's what I can talk about. I have a friend. She has dealt with high blood. Well, I don't know about her blood pressure journey, but she had high blood pressure and she also had pre-diabetes. So she has been on a mission to keep off of diabetes medication to get her blood sugar better. And so she went low carb. She did not go keto. I don't believe she did not go carnivore. I know. And however, she did find this person online. I don't have a name or anything, but who has done this program, just basically a program for dealing with these issues. And so my friend has been eating more paleo, I would say, or primal. No, paleo, because she did eliminate dairy. So she's been eating more paleo. And wouldn't you know it, her A1C and blood sugars have come down. So, and here I am. She's telling me about her, I'm eating this coconut yogurt with maple syrup for the sweetener. And I'm sitting there going, in my head going, oh no, you were low carb. Now you're eating maple syrup. But it seems to be working for her. So my point being, after that long thing, carnivore does a lot. It doesn't necessarily fix everything. Everybody's individual. And it was a good way for me to get off my soapbox, which I don't preach at her, but I was, in my head going, oh, you'd only, and here what she's doing is working for her right now. So who am I to say? Who am I to say anything? Natalie says she has been, let me see if I can do this. Oh, yes. She's been able to cut her dose in half and have gotten rid of the diuretic. They just, both parents died of heart disease. So some of it may be hereditary. So excellent. I feel the same way. Like I'm still on my thyroid replacement, but I've been able to cut it. And I don't know if I'll be able to get off it either, but he did it.
It was hard, and Apple gave me many problems.
And I told you about my friend. There we go.
I had to put a sticker over our daughter's face because we're not face doxing her.
No, definitely not.
So this is us.
June 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a little bit doughier than we are today.
Yeah, we are in that photo.
I would have been probably about 200 pounds, and I'm down to 170 now.
Yeah. And I would have been almost 160. But one of the viewers mentioned this on a past video that I looked inflamed. She's like, you looked inflamed. And I'm like, I think you're right. Like, I think I looked heavier, actually a little bit heavier than my weight reflected.
Yeah, I could.
Yeah.
I guess I can say that now.
You can say that now. You can say that now.
Oh, that's funny.
Alan, here he is.
I was on my annual week-long fishing trip with the guys. I brought ribeye steaks to cook every night. We had fresh fish and greasy hamburger patties for lunch.
Sounds like a beautiful carnivore trip.
Did you convert anybody to carnivore while you were there? Did you admonish them for eating whatever it was they were eating?
Did you admonish them?
Tell them, that is toxic what you're eating. Hope loves that photo of the two of us. Well, I love that we were there for our daughter. That was a good day. Been able to cut my dose in half and gotten rid of the diuretic. Did you do this one already?
I did.
Okay.
I touched your computer.
When I track, I end up 65-35 fat and protein. Too much fat doesn't work for me. Yeah, I did that same experiment.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
and 65-35 is probably about where I fall as well.
Yeah.
And that seems to be the sweet spot for me. But not everybody, you know. And I think if I had some disease issue I was really contending with, then I would try to be in deep ketosis.
Yes.
And then I would have a different strategy.
But even for me last month, when I was eating more fat, it was because I had these signals to eat more fat.
Yeah.
I feel like my body was telling me, give it a little extra love, little extra fuel, little extra hormonal support, etc.
Go ahead and read Alan's here.
Oh, hallelujah. We convinced our 82-year-old friend that salad was toxic and to eat carnivore. Blood sugar went from 200 down to 90, and she is no longer diabetic.
That is amazing.
Yes. So we have been, we brought this up the last couple days, that the information that we've heard all our lives has really been around protecting the heart, right? Supposedly.
Yeah.
You don't, and I get it, because if the heart stops working, you're dead, right? So all this cholesterol information we've received our entire life was in an effort to try to keep your heart beating. Got it. But the story we have not gotten is the story of the slow metabolic decline that leads to high blood pressure. We've gone through this before.
Yeah.
High blood
Diabetes,
pressure,
cancer,
diabetes,
Alzheimer's.
Cancer, Alzheimer's, losing toes, losing limbs. Joint replacement surgery can often be tied to a metabolic issue. All these issues that the diuretic, right? There are all these issues that stack onto each other and create a poor quality of life.
Mm-hmm.
So here we've been trying to really take care of the heart. And again, not that that's not important, but it's been at the sacrifice of a long or a vitality and health. So there's this long, slow decline now. I remember I broke my toe a few years back, and the x-ray was a little weird. So I was like, they thought that I might have a bone infection. And so I was sort of like, brought to the top of the list. Code red, let's make sure everything's okay. And I remember, so I was on watch quite a bit, and it was not a bone infection. All was well. And the doctor didn't think I was diabetic either. He's like, and this was when I was heavy, but he's like, I don't think this is your problem. But anyway, the thing is, I remember I was there and waiting to get in, and this old man was talking to me, and he was saying, yeah, his wife had just had a couple toes amputated, but he'd already had that done. So he was sort of like the guide in this journey for her to be able to support her as she lost part of her foot.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my gosh. Wow. So even though I didn't have a bone infection, it made an impact on
Kind of
me.
woke you up a little bit.
I was like, holy cow.
You don't want to go down that path.
I don't want to go down that path. And I don't want us to go like one of you's the first one. Which one is the first one to lose the toe?
I guess that the first one to lose a toe is not the winner.
Yeah. So, but it was sad. It was just a bummer.
One of my friends is a car and alcohol addict. His face and skin are wretched.
Oh.
He's gaining 20 pounds a year in constant pain.
Oh.
I set a good example and tried to convince him prayers.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's only so much you can do.
Yeah.
But yeah. We hate to watch people that we care about suffer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, I probably should say we hate to watch people suffer.
And especially the ones.
Especially the people you actually care about. Yeah. That photo with your daughter is great, but I was commenting on the thumbnail photo from Tuesday's video.
Is.
This one, yeah. Well, thank you.
Yes. I do like that one as well.
So, JJ, we put a commercial in our Tuesday video about the Carnivore bar, and we're going to do it very briefly here. Why will I tell them what you said? You're right here to tell them.
Well, here I go back to the beginning of time. Okay. So we've had a change in seasons. And so it's been really interesting because one thing we've talked about on the show is that sometimes when there is a change in seasons, or obviously a holiday, but especially a change in season, it kind of changes our eating pattern and how we remember eating. So for me, as we got into the warmer months, pasta salad was what my family lived on in the summer. So I gave that up long ago when I gave up gluten, but it was a thing that I was like mourning. Oh, pasta salad. For several years, I was like, oh, it's pasta salad time and I can't have it. You are a big sandwich in the summer type of person. And so you've been like, oh, I'm kind of craving a sandwich, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I have a new thing that's not going to work for you, but it's working for me. We had a long day out working on the property and I came in and I wasn't that hungry, but I was needing to eat. I was hungry and I was also in this priming mode. So I needed to eat. And I was like, oh, what am I going to do? And it hit me. I can have a carnivore bar. So I ate that thing and it tasted so good because I was hungry. I mean, usually they're fine. I like them. They're fine. I'll eat about a half of one at a time. But I scarfed that thing and it tasted delicious. And wouldn't you know it, ever since then, I kind of have been craving them regularly. Like I want that as my little go-to warmer weather, quick grab meal.
Well, that works great for you then.
Yeah. So if you are interested in getting carnivores, we do have a link. We don't get anything from it. They just know we sent you, but you get 10% off, and 10% off pretty much equals free shipping.
We get a little commission.
Oh, we do. Okay. Yep. Sorry. He's in charge of that.
I have to be honest.
No, I wasn't trying to pull one over.
I'm the one who administers that.
Yeah.
Which means I do practically nothing.
But
I don't eat them.
No, he's not a big
I'm
fan.
a bad salesperson for it because I'm like, nah.
Oh, but I am like, and as I've said before, I personally like the ones with the honey. The ones without the honey, who knows? Maybe next year I'll be like so into them. I'll be into the ones without the honey. The honey does not make them sweet, but for me, it makes it a little less just beefy. Beefy tallowy.
Annette is here.
Mhm.
Hi, Annette. We did talk about you earlier,
We did.
but it wasn't very exciting. We were talking about Relight. But you missed a lot.
Yeah.
You're going to have to watch the replay.
Yeah.
Hope says, my husband had osteosarcoma when he was 20. He had an above-the-knee amputation. Living for
Wow.
40 years with a prosthetic has been devastating for his health. I
Mm.
wouldn't wish that on anyone. Yeah, I can only imagine.
Well, when I was when I had the broken toe, I was just trying to learn what because I could not walk on mine because it was this red alert situation. So they didn't just give me a boot and send me off. I had to pretty much use crutches and stuff. So we were trying to figure out the best things for me to be using to get around. And I started watching an amputee YouTuber and was just amazed because she was using a product that I was interested in, a mobility product that I was interested in. But I followed her journey for quite a while and went back to when she had the amputation and all that, and was amazed by how much how many extra calories an amputee burns, period.
Huh.
Yeah, there's they don't even have to be mobile and they burn more calories.
That's counterintuitive.
Right. Just watching her struggles too. It was just really interesting to me because it's not something I've really thought about a whole lot. Yeah, but it was not easy. It was not easy at all. Because I think when we haven't witnessed that either firsthand or secondhand, you think you strap on a leg and go.
Yeah, I don't think it's that simple.
And it's just so not.
She goes on to say, he would have done anything not to have his leg removed. I can't understand how people won't give up carbs and to prevent amputation.
But again, I get it too. And we have not received the message. People don't see that whole progression that happens. We have not been given that message.
Yeah, it's when you're on the other side of it, you can see how clearly food affects health. But before I did carnivore, food affected weight. But I didn't really believe that it affected health that much. I might have thought, well, yeah, certain foods maybe give you a higher risk for heart disease or something, but it was all very abstract.
Yeah.
But when you see how good you feel on carnivore, you really make that connection. And then it's so obvious.
And then it's
like, well, of course, food is going to have an extraordinary effect on your health because you're made out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can't go back in time.
No.
You can only go forward. Michelle says, I add light salt to my coffee. I don't like the flavored electrolytes and meg glycinate after dinner. I do not like salty coffee.
What I tend to do now more than even drinking the flavored electrolytes is we've got the Keto Chow drops. So I just put about 10 drops in my big water whenever I fill it up. And for the most part, that seems to work well for me.
Carnivore. I muted myself. Too expensive in Canada.
Yeah.
Tempted to make pemmican. We both enjoyed it. My husband did not.
Yep. And what's interesting too is I usually keep a couple bars in the fridge, and because I tend to like them cold. And this particular night, I only had a half a cold one, and I knew I needed a full bar.
A cold one.
And I ate that warm one, room temperature. And honest to God, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is almost like a brownie. Which sounds ridiculous, but that's where I was that night.
You're getting into Bella territory there with that.
Oh, so good. Yeah, but they are expensive, period. And I'm sure in Canada that, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But I don't know. If you liked them, I could see us doing a pemmican project.
Well, you like him,
But
so why don't you do a pemmican project?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe someday. Maybe someday. Right now, I've got a lot of other projects that I can work on.
So much stuff to be done. So I had been, I like Dr. Boz. I watch her videos in the morning when I'm making breakfast very frequently. And I don't know what it is. I think it's just like her energy is good. But she does kind of nerd out on the science on some of them with her PowerPoints and stuff. And she did a recent one that's kind of a backup back into creatine.
Yeah.
And is pretty enthusiastic about it. And I know Dr. Barry's like, well, just eat meat and you'll get all the creatine you need. But I like to just supplement things. So I have been experimenting with higher dose creatine. I had been doing my 5 grams a day. I guess it was last year. And I did notice it with my workouts that I had maybe a little more initial power during a set of resistance exercises. But then I kind of got away from it because it's kind of gritty and it's just a thing to remember to do because you have to dissolve it in liquid. And so I've gotten back into it, but I did have a bad night's sleep around that time. And I was like, well, one of the things I've been hearing is that higher dose creatine can be helpful to assist with mental state and tiredness after one night of bad sleep.
Yes.
So I said, well, I'll try it. And did I notice that I just perked right up and I just was full of vigor and was like, I don't think I should mention that character in this day and age. Anyway, no, I did not notice those things, but I do feel like it did elevate me about 10% from where I would have been.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I have continued to take 15 grams of creatine daily since then. And I think that there has been some marginal benefit as a cognitive enhancer.
Well, and that's one of the things she does talk about because she is very into brain health. So she does talk about its effect on the brain in that video. And she also mentioned that women, for some reason, we aren't able to retain as much of it. This is not scientific in our muscles.
I think that's accurate.
And she broke it all down. There's a P word involved. And that P word is what you need in your muscles, and women don't retain it as much. This is oh, this is why in my life coaching work I do PowerPoints.
So you come to us for all of the deep science knowledge. You're in the wrong place.
It's that P word.
But anyway, I do find that it does dissolve in hot beverages.
Mhm.
I do put it in my coffee because I can't taste it. But I do it in a split dose. So I have 5 grams of my coffee and then I drink 5 suspended in water. And then after lunch, I have another dose of it. And there's been no negative side effects that I've noticed.
Well, she mentions in this video doing a loading phase of 5 to 7 days, 20 grams.
Yeah, that's a
and then doing sort of a maintenance. This might be for women at 10 grams.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
the bodybuilder guys back in the day, it was 20 for a week and then 5 a day.
Mm.
But yeah, it's interesting. I'm gonna stay with it for a while.
Yeah.
It's relatively inexpensive because you don't need none. Apparently, none of the fancier versions of creatine are needed. It's just creatine monohydrate from a reputable source, and it's pretty cheap. Oh my goodness!
Simpson says she uses.
I recover better with creatine. I used to be still sore when it was time to work that same muscle group 2 to 3 days. Yep.
Yeah, I'm based on her video and talking about women. I think I'm going to try it because I also, as I mentioned, when we went to the conference in February, I really came back with the whole okay, I'm 54. It's time to get serious about maintaining my muscle mass. And I'm feeling good. I'm in carnivore. Let's do that. And so I did a 9-week streak of working on that. And then, well, no, I had
No,
what?
I was just remembering that song, The Streak.
Oh.
Some of these viewers will remember that song.
Can you believe my father, who you never met, but you've heard stories of, liked that song?
I believe it, based upon the tales I've heard.
But no, I had a 9-week streak of maintaining a resistance training, but then fell in. I was going to say fell off the wagon. That's not true. I intentionally chose not to after the play because I was really feeling run down. And that was, like I said, I went into, okay, it's time to nourish and rest and replenish. So for the last couple of weeks, 3 weeks maybe, I haven't, but I moved back into it this week. The resistance training. So, and if it can help me recover more, that would be awesome.
It's worth a shot.
Yeah.
I think at the higher doses, the biggest risk is some digestive discomfort, but I haven't had any issue with it.
Mm-hmm.
Natalie says, I've been building up my creatine supplements. I need all the brain help I can get. I've talked my husband into using it in his mountain bike ride, water bottles too. Yeah, you just got to shake it to redissolve it. Dr. Boz is the reason we went to keto in 2018.
Oh.
We were paleo, and then I read her book, Any Way You Can. Keto from then until we started carnivore 2 years ago. Huh?
Awesome.
Great.
Yeah.
It's funny how we kind of work our way through the influencers, because I had a Boz phase early and then dropped out of that. And then you had a Boz phase and then you don't talk about her. And then I have a Boz phase. And then we can tell each other the videos we watch to make sure we're both watching the good ones. You can cover a lot more content that way.
That reminds me. I've been watching a lot of Homestead How videos this week. So, and you turned me on that direction this week, actually, because you talked about the video about his daughter.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And it's not Emma. It's
I want to say Alyssa.
I think so. I wanted to say that too. So she tells a little bit of her story on that. So then, of course, Carrie's showing up in my feed a lot. But Jen did a video, his wife, Jen. She did a video about how much negativity she's getting in comments about people doubting that she's doing carnivore because she hasn't lost enough weight. She's lost 60 pounds in the last 400 days. And just she's cheating and so she addresses that. Now, one thing I love is we've watched her journey. You and I have watched her journey, including before she was carnivore, when we met her or we saw her, we didn't talk to her at the meetup.
Yeah.
Right. And we've seen her at the other meetup. When she talks in that video, she is firm with conviction and confidence that I've not seen in her before.
Mm-hmm. So
her well-being, I think, just shines in that video. I was just like, yeah. And of course she's addressing this situation. So she is strong in her conviction, but I just felt like she was showing up as a whole different woman that we've seen in the past. And I loved it. And it was also this incredible reminder that here she's lost 60 pounds. She says she has coffee, I think, and she does have dairy. She's coming from a vegetarian lifestyle. She had triplets and another pregnancy on top of that. So as she says, everyone's journey is different. But the thing is, we also don't know where people are in their journey. She's sharing hers with ours, but when we see people out in the real world, that person who might still have a little weight to lose might have lost weight already, or they might be dealing with an illness right now, or we just don't know.
Yeah.
And so it was a good reminder for me to just, we don't know where people are.
Yep.
We don't know.
Extend everybody grace.
Yeah.
Try not to be too judgy.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great video.
Well, and I just don't, I don't understand how, I don't understand the mindset of a person who leaves those type of comments. I just don't get it. Like, Even if you're thinking it, why would you put it there? So
I don't know. People are willing to tell us they hate your laugh.
I know, which I don't mind at all. But like, why? Why would you put that? I don't get it. So
well,
yes.
my answer is they're miserable, and they want you to be as well. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Let's see here. The side from Eric is priceless. I must have been making a face.
Yes, you were.
Oh, you're recommending Optimum Nutrition micro-ionized creatine? I don't remember what mine is called.
I don't.
But that looks familiar.
Yeah.
Annette says, I haven't used creatine yet, and I lift weights 3 to 4 days a week. But it's my understanding it can store water in the muscles, and it will look like your weight goes up. I have a coach I can talk to.
That is a good point. I think Dr. Boz does mention that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Boz video is worth watching because she goes into the chemistry, the biochemistry of how it helps fire the muscles off. So I do think that the bro science was that it made muscles look fuller because of the water retention in the muscle, but I don't think that's where the cognitive benefits are coming from.
That's not the angle she's coming from.
No. Simpson says, lol, I worry about where your mind goes, Eric. Yes, I remember this streak. My husband even streaked our local donut shop when our local cops were taking their break.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
That is funny.
Wow.
Mm.
Yeah. Creatine's worth a N of 1 experiment just to see what happens.
Yeah.
Yes. Did you see Carrie's announcement that Bill Knott in Alaska is going to an upcoming meetup? I think it's in Florida.
Yes, it is. And okay. We're going to be at Meatstock, which is awesome. I'm thrilled with that. And whenever Carrie has the coolest meetups, we always have
something
else going on. Yeah, so that is coming up in just a couple of weeks. Yeah. But that's amazing. And Carrie said that he just drove for the first time, and he's
I watched that video.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he had a cube truck of some sort that he hadn't been in for 10 years. And he gets in it. And it's like this big moment for him because he couldn't fit in it before.
Wow. Yeah.
And he drove it. I hate that people are so horrid to Jen. The change in her personality and confidence is so much more important than weight loss.
So
Absolutely.
much more.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Bill in a while. So he's at the point where he's comfortable traveling. Well, it's still going to be a challenge, but he's going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. That'll be pretty cool. I'm sure there will be video. although there'll be probably just little teasers because some of it might be in the actual documentary and they can't show that.
Well, Bill will make his own video too.
Yeah. I would guess.
I love Bill. Very, very positive. Inspirational. I'm so looking forward to seeing Carrie's documentary.
I know.
I think it's going to be pretty powerful.
I was wearing my Healing Humanity shirt when my mom came to visit a week or so ago, and she was asking me a little bit about it. She's like, "Oh," and it's because it's been in the news, really.
Oh,
that's why she asked about it.
Oh, she'd heard of it.
Well, no, sorry. It's because food in general has been in the news lately.
Got it.
So because I've worn it in front of her before, but she actually asked about it. And I was telling her it's this guy here in Wisconsin and he's making a documentary, but I can't wait till it's done too, so that I can
make her watch it.
No, but I mean, it is a resource that one can give people.
Yeah.
So.
And
I would, okay, here's my dream. This is my dream. My dream. You don't even know my dream.
I'm eager to hear it.
I have other dreams too. This is not the only dream. But I have a dream that yes, it'll be on Netflix or whatever, right? He has his success with his distribution, but that we have a showing at the Plaza Theater in Burlington. And then we have because I know the owner,
Right. Yeah.
right? And then we have a barbecue here.
Oh, like a meetup is what you're talking
Like
about.
a meetup with a movie and food, or food and a movie, whatever works.
That would be great. I don't know if anybody would want to come here,
I know.
but it's possible.
But yes, that's my dream, is to get. And then I think because here's why, because having it at the theater too, I think would attract at least minimally the people who work at the theater would have to be there, right? So it wouldn't only be for us carnivores, it would also have a bit of a ripple then.
Yeah.
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 So
plus, do some networking and get some people to actually show up to support
yes,
your effort because they
Right.
love you.
yeah.
And then they'll be infected with the carnivore virus. And then they'll just all be carnivore automatons. Yes, I will eat steak. I will eat eggs and nothing else. But they'll be so happy being your carnivore automatons.
That's what I'm about.
And you will be their queen. And you will
Puppet
and you will be
master.
generous at first.
What is that from again?
It's from the Big Bang Theory.
Yes. Oh my gosh, Raj.
I will be king of the rabbits and they will love me at first.
Oh, we got the streak and Big Bang in today.
Yep. Let's see here. Major FOMO about all the meetups. The Healing Humanity group are having one in Canada, but unfortunately, Ontario is way too far to go.
Canada's kind of big.
It is. It's pretty big. It's pretty spread out.
Yeah. Well, I do feel really fortunate because, I mean, again, we're in the same state as Carrie. So even if we did nothing else, we can go to,
Yeah.
we have some semi-local events.
You want to take this one?
It's Alan. Each one of us doing carnivore are the greatest resource for healing humanity, one soul at a time. Yeah.
Natalie will go if it isn't wintertime.
Yeah, I think winter would be a mistake.
No, I won't even want to be here in winter. I would like to go the one in Washington State, but a little concerned about going across the border now.
Yeah. We have a life coaching event coming up too, and I know some of the Canadian coaches are like, I think I'll sit this one out. I might sit that one out too, though. I'm not sure yet.
It's a long way. Annette would come. I want to see your property. I'll bring me and we can be silly together. You've got my mind on my crazy husband's streaking era now. He'll wear a baggy over his head. Yeah. And a sign saying he was the unknown comic streaker. But the cops knew his skinny back. The unknown comic. Oh my goodness. I forgot about that. My mom hated that act. I don't know why.
My mom's boyfriend loved it.
That's probably why. Yeah, knowing who he was. Now I understand why there was that polar. Oh my goodness. So again, if you haven't seen JJ on the Lioness Lifestyle, there's a screen grab. Make sure you check that out either on our live replay or their channel's replay. And of course, give them a subscribe if you're not already.
Yeah.
Support them because they're doing good work. And I'll say one more time. Last Tuesday, we had Carnivore gave us our future back. I think it's a pretty good video. YouTube thought it was an okay video. But I would cover that content again and again and again, because it's just like what Alan was talking about, modeling the carnivore lifestyle and the success we've had. We hope to reach people so that they can get their future back. So if you know somebody who won't listen to you, but for some reason might listen to us, share it with them. Let them be mad at you for sending a video.
Well, no, let me pause for a moment. I saw a friend today. I told you I've been talking a lot lately, and she just made a huge lifestyle change. And again, it was based on a podcast. Like, a podcast is what inspired her to move into that significant change.
Yeah.
So you never know.
How many changes have I made because of podcasts?
Well, that's
so many.
Actually, that is why you got the internal eye roll when you started talking about eating more protein.
Yeah.
But here I am.
I have to
stop
listening to podcasts sometimes so I don't have
Just
to make more changes.
My
My husband worked backstage in Reno and knew the unknown comic and said he was really nice. Did he see him without the bag on his head?
Oh.
Because that would be like seeing Kiss without the makeup before they
took off
the makeup. Nobody knew what Kiss looked like.
Uh.
And then they took the makeup off and were like, yeah, we put it back on.
Please, for the love of God. Brilliant. Brilliant, though.
Yeah,
Gene
good
Simmons is
marketing.
Just brilliant.
I wasn't a Kiss fan, so it wasn't a big deal for me.
No, I was not either, but
that reminds me, we've been rewatching that 70s show.
Mm-hmm.
And last night's episode, they're opening a record store, and one of the characters was stealing an album under his coat, and it was Styx. And he was shamed for loving Styx. And then later, another guy had secretly been trying to steal a Styx album, and it turned out that all of the characters were secret Styx fans. And it was especially funny to me because as a kid, my brothers were moderate Styx fans, but I got hooked on some of the songs at a very young age, and I became this huge Styx fan, and I was not shy about it.
No.
And I didn't care that people had contempt for me for loving one of the greatest bands that ever existed.
And we've seen Styx together.
Yeah, we have. And Boston and Kansas.
Yeah.
And not Foreigner.
No.
Or Journey.
No,
we saw Journey.
No,
together.
we saw Journey. Yeah.
And that completes your tour of the 70s.
Well, I think we've got a sunset to get out there. And
we got a dog who wants to see it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's our new thing in this season is to go do a little golf cart around with the dog.
On the trails.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, and stick around for our fun theme song. But as always, every day stronger.
Every day more blessed.
JJ and Eric, their lipids are high. Their doctors are worried they're both gonna die. Is LDL harmless? They sure hope it's so. It's the JJ and Eric Carnivore Show. Salad is toxic, seed oils are doom. They rub on tallow like greasy perfume. Ribeyes and bacon, that's all they know. It's the JJ and Eric Carnivore Show. No wheat, no kale, they're laughing at greens. 18-hour fasts are their favorite routines. Sugars for suckers, they're chomping on fat. Streaming to you live from a tallow vat. Eric's got muscles, JJ's got zen. They're coming to chat with their carnivore friends. So toss